Knowing the right needle to use in a certain project is such a game changer. We have different types of sewing needles. I'm going to start off talking about the universal one. This is an all-purpose sewing needle and you can find it from sizes 90/14. These needles, they usually work with lightweight fabric. Next, we have the ballpoint sewing needle. You can use this for stretch fabrics, knitted fabrics, like jersey, t-shirts, and fleece. This is the needle that you'd want to use when working with such projects. We also have a stretch needle. This one we use it when you're sewing very stretchy fabrics, like the one that has spandex or lycra. For example, in sportswear, you use this when you're sewing sportswear, when you're sewing activewear, when you're sewing dancewear. This is the needle that you'd want to use, especially if you are sewing using fabrics that have a lot of stretch in them. We have the sharp needle. You would want to use this when you are working with a very delicate material. We are talking of the silks, the taffetas, the chiffons. You want it to, those that are tightly woven. When you're working with tightly woven fabrics, you'd want to use a sharp needle. And the size of this determines on the weight of the fabric. We also have the denim needle. This is used for thick, tightly woven fabrics, which are the denims, the canvas, and upholstery fabrics. To just mention a few. These are the material. When you're working with these materials, that is the needle that you would want to use so that you do not stress yourself during the project. On my list, I have the embroidery sewing needle. This is used for mainly embroidery work. It has a larger eye hole for it to fit in the embroidery thread, and it works on almost all fabrics with a stabilizer. These are the needles that you'd want to know when making your sewing projects and which one to use. When getting the needle size, just know that the smaller number equals to lightweight fabrics and the larger number equals to heavyweight fabrics. For beginners, I would advise or suggest that maybe you could start with a universal sewing needle because it works with most beginner-friendly fabrics, which is a good start. But as you progress, you can continue to explore, especially if you're going to be working with stretch fabrics, if you're going to be working with, depending on what you're working with, just look for the right needle that will save you stress from your sewing projects. For more sewing tips, please subscribe and enjoy.